beautiful work throughout this routine. Just the dismount left. She's been so consistent with this, has stuck every single meet. Just a small hop backwards.
He's such an inspiration for this team. The Crimson Tide rely on her energy. She has never wavered since she got that diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis, and that has certainly altered her training plan. She says she's quite uncomfortable several days.
She is. It's a lot to, you know, our bodies hurt a lot in general as gymnasts. So when you've got additional pain, it's really hard to battle through it. She's done a great job this season.
Kira Wells had a big meet last week. Hannah Shively, by the way, the leadoff vaulter. You can see on the right, her score is a 9.8.
Got the stick on this last week against Kentucky, the first of her career. A step forward. Judges can take up to a 10.5 on those steps, depending on how big they step forwards or backwards.
We were talking to the coaching staff earlier this week about the technique on vaulting, and they focus on the run a great deal. Her run is unusual. She stands very upright, but they say that works for her style and her technique of vaulting. Not necessarily terribly fast, but it sets her up for the right free.
Yeah, associate coach Lou Ball said that they work on that upright position, finally got her there where they want her sitting in that run down the runway.
Back over to Alabama on the bars. Peyton Walker led them off with a solid 9.875. Good start. This is a very important event for Alabama today if they're going to contend with the Sooners, because bars has been a little bit inconsistent for them.
And Alabama has been lights out on this event so far this season, ranked second on bars. They can put up big numbers here. They've been good at getting the sticks. Hopefully Gabby Gladio can start that stick train going for them.
Talking to the coaching staff about what they were focused on for bars this week, and she said it's really all about the rhythm, and they try to count in the handstand because judges are looking for them to meet that handstand position completely vertical, and we'll see if they can, if Gabby Gladio can do that here.
Like you said, Bart, they want to see those toes right on top of the bar in those cast handstands. Gabby does a good job of holding her handstands as well. Closes with this double tuck dismount. You can see her digging her toes into the ground. Got the clear stick on that, and she is hyped about that one.
Last year, she won the Lewis Each Courage Award, the highest honor bestowed to any Alabama gymnast for her fierce competitiveness. Talked about the Oklahoma Sooners, how they do their pre-meet timers. Talk a little bit about this, Kennedy, and what's an advantage for holding the mat up in the air while they're doing these drills.
It's incredibly smart to have this as your timer. Then you can go full out. A lot of gymnasts have to hold back so they don't get to feel the equipment fully.
Another handspring pike front half, this one from Lizzie Blessy. Oklahoma has a 9.8 for Hannah Shively and a 9.85 for Kira Wells so far.
A sizable step back for Elizabeth Blessy. She was out of the lineup actually last week. They had some issues hitting the table. The vault didn't seem to be nailed down as well as it should be, so they couldn't really get the block and momentum.
Yeah, Oklahoma, as we mentioned, normally quite well known for their sticks, but they do not have a stuck vault yet. Oklahoma is the #1 team in the country, primarily because of their landings. Today, the Sooners are going to have to be very precise because Alabama came into this meet very hot. Perhaps Alabama's best chance in the decade, at least, to give the Sooners a run for their money here. Oklahoma does not often lose in the Lloyd Noble Center. Their record is 154-4 in this building under KJ Quigley.
So consistent in her gymnastics. Head coach Ashley Johnston said sometimes she slips under the radar, but she's such a rock for their team. Wants to follow up Gabby Gladio's stick. Nice effort to hold, actually pulled that dismount in a little bit, was close to the bar with those toes. Good effort working out of that.
Come from the same gym club as Peyton Walker. They've been friends since they were 12 years old. They're known as the team as the dynamic duo.
She held on just a little bit too long on that dismount.
All right, here she is, that spectacular freshman, Mackenzie Estep. Everybody in the country wanted her. The Sooners landed her, and the good news for tonight is she's going to be doing the all-around for the first time in her collegiate career. That was beautiful.
When Mackenzie Estep is in this building, she's sticking that vault.
Oh. Distance, height, technique, form.
I'm not seeing a deduction there. Bart flared those arms out at the right moment. Head coach KJ Kindler knows that was good.
Oh, the Sooner fans want to see a perfect 10. Estep has the perfect combination of technique and power, and what a way to get her first all-around competition underway as she gets a couple of notes from Lou Ball and her teammates there in Oklahoma. Wow. Sooners have not yet broken into the 9-9, but that'll certainly be 9-9 or better. Natalia Pavlak will be next up on bars for Alabama. Brian Fuller had a 9-8. So the scores are very, very close at this point. Two teams are averaging in the mid-9-8s. We expect this meet will go all the way down to the wire tonight.
And both teams have strong second halves of the lineup.
As you mentioned, Alabama number 2 in the country on this event. This is one of their best events along with floor exercise.
Natalia's really found her groove this season. Nice save. You can tell she's going for those handstands. Saved the one on the high bar as well. Small step back on that dismount.
Natalia, the senior, 4-time member of the Polish national team. Her club training at Metroplex Gymnastics down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Her sister, by the way, will compete for Oklahoma as a freshman. We'll see her later on tonight in the competition.
Her and her sister are rock stars for both of their respective teams.
Next up is Elle Miller. Mackenzie Estep got a 9.95 for the Sooners. Okay, another good landing.
They're sticking now, Bart. Slightly staggered feet, but great stick from Elle Miller as well. These are the sticks that we talk about when we're talking about Oklahoma's ability to find their landings. You'll see that right foot was just slightly behind her left foot.
There'll be a slight deduction there for not having her feet parallel on the landing, but she did control it for sure. The sophomore out of Twin City Twisters, that's the same club that brought Maggie Nichols to the forefront of national, international gymnastics. They have created many top college and elite level athletes. TCT. Natalia Pavlak had a 9.825, so very respectable scores for Alabama here. Here comes one of their best. This is Chloe LaCourcier.
Chloe is a terrific bar swinger. Legs completely glued together. Her form is spectacular. Almost got a perfect 10 in a meet against Florida on this event. Strong routine so far.
Oh, yeah.
She has money on that dismount bar. She has stuck that time and time again.
That's what her season low is, 9.925. That's how consistent she is.
Chloe's really settled into herself this season as well.
Addison Fada will be the final vaulter for the Sooners after E-steps 9.95. Elle Miller scored a 9.925 for her 1.5. Here's Fada. Oh, 3 in a row. Oh.
I'm speechless. They are excited about that. They should be. Oklahoma is the best vault team in the country for a reason. Their technique and ability to find landings is just on another level.
Lou Ball told us before the competition they really spend a lot of time focusing on the runs. And I've heard from other athletes in other sports, you see, you gymnasts are amazing, but you don't run very well. So he is really dialed into making sure that those runs are efficient, effective, and set them up for that kind of launch off the vaulting.
Yeah, he watches a lot of track videos, which makes complete sense. The more you can control the run, the more you have control over your vault. It's hard when you have adrenaline to know that balance.
Important routine here for Alabama now on the bars. Chloe Lacourcier at their high score 9.925. So these two teams are nearly deadlocked. The score, by the way, came in just now for Addison Fada. It's a 9.975. Here is Azarea Ra Akbar, the anchor competitor for Alabama.
One of the best bar swingers in the country. She just floats through this routine. It was stunning to watch on this event.
Wow. Legs
don't separate for a second. Holds her handstands. You can tell she's counting through them. That small scoot back is going to be the biggest deduction in that routine. She is excellent.
Really floats on this Van Leeuwen transition. Amazing.
She makes gymnastics look incredibly easy, and it's not.
Her college debut on bars, she scored a 9.975. What a way to kick off your career. Alabama does a great job in the first rotation, but this one is close. And Oklahoma with a 9.975 for Addison Fada. 3 stock landings in a row for the Sooners is what they needed in that first rotation. A 49.525, a terrific score, 1/10 below Oklahoma's season high there on that event. We talked about Peyton Walker. She's joining us now. Peyton, let's talk a little bit about your message to the team after that leadoff performance. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. All I said was one thing at a time, and like, this is ours. We truly do our best when we hold on to each other and lean on one another. And I mean, we started off strong. We're only going to build from there, and I'm so excited.
Peyton, what are you looking to see from the rest of your team tonight in this charged environment?
Yeah, I'm looking for all locked-in energy and us. It's only us out here, and this is all that matters, our team, and let's get it. I mean.
Thank you, Peyton, and good job in the first rotation. These two teams separated by just 15/100ths of a point as we move on to the second of 4 rotations.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, 1 rotation is done out of 4. Peyton Walker gave us a highlight in that leadoff spot we mentioned earlier. Earlier this year, she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, but that hasn't slowed her one bit. Alabama trails Oklahoma by 0.15. Back in Norman, Oklahoma, we have a great matchup tonight, one of the best of the weekend. Number 4, Alabama, trailing Oklahoma, the top team in the country, by 15/100ths of a point. Both teams solid in that first rotation. Oklahoma, their last 3 vaulters stuck their vaults. Addison Fada, a 9.975, a career high for her. Important opportunity for the Sooners. They will move to the bars in the second rotation. They are ranked 6th in the country, has shown a little bit bit of inconsistency on the bars. So if they're vulnerable at all tonight to Alabama, it could be here. The Crimson Tide will be on the vault. Brings up Jamie Sears.
Jamison can absolutely fly on this. Her challenge is controlling that landing, has a lot of power, has been taking a step out of it though.
Nice.
Much better landing.
This is an upgraded vault for her, right? She added the extra half twist. Pretty good control on that landing.
Yeah, she actually approached head coach Ashley Johnston about the 1.5, said she wanted to do it, played around with the front pike half over the summer and said, I like the 1.5 better.
Lily Peterson will be the leadoff competitor for the Sooners on bars.
She's changed and upgraded this routine as well from last year. Opens with that huge release move that you told us to check out a couple seconds ago. Has had to find her rhythm out of it. Swinging out of that big release move is challenging to do.
A bit of a scoring controversy a couple of weeks ago because she was so high on the transition move. She actually touched her feet on the floor. One judge claims they didn't see it. Another judge probably just ignored it. Scores were too high for sure. It was outrageous. And if she can handle the power this time. Oh.
So much height on that.
Here's where it happened. Oh, nice. Great control.
Good improvement from Lily Peterson. Head coach KJ Kindler said she has the highest potential in this lineup to go 10.
Oh! What a moment! Lily Peterson. A bit of redemption here back in the Lloyd Noble Center. That was spectacular. So dynamic.
Monster on this release move. Had to stretch to get back to the bar and just nails that handstand afterwards on top. When Lily sticks, I love it because it's so clear. Her chest is always up. It's such a clear stick.
Wow, what a way to start off that lineup. Back to the vault, Chloe LaCourcier. Jamison Sears had a 9.875 in their leadoff spot.
Good hop out of it.
LaCourcier adding vault this week. She hasn't competed yet on vault this year. Good to see her in the lineup here.
They've played around with a lot of their lineups, Bart. They have a lot of depth, and Chloe has had experience in the exhibition spot. Has finally made it into this vault lineup.
We expected a big score in the leadoff spot for Lily Peterson, and she got what she deserved. 9.925. That's a season high for her. Here's Ella Murphy, the freshman out of Frisco, Texas now. The scorers are typically supposed to build. Think this. They started with a 9.925. Where are we headed tonight?
Well, Ella Murphy can definitely build off of Lily Peterson's 9.925. Look at her lines and extension. It's fantastic. Another stick for Oklahoma. Ella Murphy, the freshman.
The second stick in a row on bars and the fifth in a row in this competition. Sticks can be contagious sometimes.
You can tell that they are building off of Lily's stick. They did a great job on vault. You want to see those handstands within that 10 degrees. Excellent job. Ella excels at handstands, can actually hold a handstand on the bar for a minute long.
Back to vault now for Alabama. Jordan Paradise, the senior from Tampa, Florida.
Nice landing for Jordan. Has consistently been in this beginning half of the lineup and serving so well. Does a great job flaring her arms out at the right moment. Holds on to it with her toes. I like seeing them dig into the ground so she doesn't lose any more tense.
Sometimes you wonder whether they're going to dig their toenails all the way and cut through the vinyl. They're hanging on so tight. This is an event that if Alabama's going to make it close tonight, they have to do well, and they are doing just that. No 9-9s yet there, but good technique and form. Clean execution so far. Hannah Shively now coming after the second 9-9-2-5 in a row for Oklahoma on bar. That one for Ella Murphy.
And a big test for Hannah. Had a mistake last week against Kentucky. Tipped her handstand after this first release move. It was an aggressive mistake. Excellent height there on that first release move. That's where she had the mistake. Good job bouncing back this week.
Oh!
Tried to get that stick. Held onto the bar slightly too long. Beautiful job on that Jaeger and controlling that cash. You could tell she went a little short just so she didn't get that tip. Great form on her full twisting double tuck. It's hard to keep those ankles and knees aligned. Did a great job there.
Love seeing the pointed toes throughout that full twisting double back. Gabby Gladio now, after Jordan Paradise had a 9.875. Gladio is a fierce competitor, one of the captains of the team.
A lot of height on that 1.5, had a lot of power. We talked about owning the run and what that means to Alabama. Kind of talked about it with Oklahoma as well. It's something that you can control, especially at an away meet when you have a lot of adrenaline and you're trying to beat the opposing team. You've got to find that run and the rhythm of it so you hit the table at the right moment.
I never heard a coach say own the run, but that's what we heard this week from Ashley. As she was explaining, and you're right, it has a lot to do with your tempo into the vault table, what the resulting vault will be. Back to the bars now. Addison Feda after a 9.825 after that little shuffle on the landing for Hannah Shively.
Beautiful release, had to stretch, had a lot of height on her release after that, called a pack salto. Addison's been working on finding her rhythm in this routine as well.
Yes. Another stuck landing. Feda fell on her bar routine in the third week of the season, but came back with a career high the week after. That's toughness right there, the sophomore from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania.
Beautiful dismount. She is so sticky tonight, Bart. Those feet are not moving when they come into the ground.
Azariah Akbar will be up next after Gabby Gladio had 9.825. Alabama has not broken into the 9-9s. All their vaults are clean, but they could use a couple of stuck landings right now.
She has a lot of power. It's just about dialing it in at the end.
Oh!
And she found it. Talk about dialing it in.
Head coach Ashley Priest-Johnson loved it.
Co-associate head coach Justin Spring said she's lightning in a bottle, and I think that's a perfect description for her. She's just electric to watch, and when she gets the stick, she's almost perfect every time.
She launches off that vault table. Her head is 10, 11 feet in the air, and she just planted that landing. Okay, Addison Feda, after her stuck landing, got a 9-9. That brings it up the rock. Faith Torres, we often see her in the all-around, not doing the all-around this week. Struggled with some ankle issues, but she is money everywhere else.
Faith is one of, if not their most consistent athlete in these lineups. Does a good job adjusting quickly, like even on that pirouette. The Sooners are not moving their feet on these dismounts, okay? So much amplitude over the bar. I love Faith Torres because she's so aggressive in her skills. Just that slight leg separation, but dials it in on that landing.
Or as the 2025 NCAA All-American in all 5 events, vault, bars, beam, floor, and all around. Jasmine Pauly, she's one of these exciting freshmen we were talking about coming after Azarea had their high score over there at 9.95. Can they stick one more? Ooh.
So much power off of the table. A lot of distance. You want to see those 1.5s go that far. Couldn't quite find that landing, though. You see how far away she got from the table. Major step forward, though. And that comes with experience, knowing when to flare out your arms and when to come out early.
Mackenzie Estep, we mentioned it earlier. This is her first goal as an all-around competitor. She's coming after the second 9-9 in a row for the Sooners on bars. So they have 4 scores, 9-9 or better. And here is Estep. She can fly.
Beautiful job on that shoot over. Also bumped her back a spot this week. Want to increase her scoring potential. Closes with this hard dismount. Money.
Oh, yes.
It is easy for Mackenzie Estep.
The first freshman since Maggie Nichols to earn a 9-9 or better on 3 events in her college debut. The freshman out of Auburn, Washington, seems quite comfortable up there.
Gymnastics is so easy for her. She looks like a senior and she's only a freshman. She just has this maturity about her competition that elevates her level.
All right, that completes the second rotation out of 4 in this competition. We expected a tight competition, and that is what we have. 2 of the finest teams in the country going head-to-head tonight here in Norman, Oklahoma. We're joined now by Ashley Priest-Johnson. Ashley, the head coach at Alabama in her 4th season. Ashley, what's the message to your team as you head to the 3rd rotation, the floor exercise?
You know, tonight we've been talking about going out there and competing bold, competing against our standard. OU is an amazing team. Obviously, they're lighting this place up, but we're focused on what's our standard and just continuing to chase progress and not perfection. So that's our mission tonight.
You have some powerful athletes, Ashley. What do you want to see out of that power, especially on an event like floor?
You know, we talk all the time about not letting the floor hit you. And so we're really talking about making sure they're in charge of the punch, they're in charge of putting their feet down, they're in charge of commanding their leaps in every moment and drawing this audience in. This is an amazing floor team, and so excited for them to just put on a show and just be themselves.
All right, congratulations, Ashley. We'll wish you the best of luck in the next rotation.
Thanks so much. Roll Tide.
A lot of highlights tonight already, and we have some big events coming up. Oklahoma, the best team in the country on beam, and Alabama, one of the most exciting teams on the floor, will be on the floor. Oklahoma is known for legends in gymnastics, 7 national titles in the last 11 years, including that young lady right there, Jordan Bowers, national champion in the all-around and a leader for 3 national team titles for the Sooners. She'll join us when we come back. Here at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma, we have a great one tonight. 2 teams separated by less than 0.4 of a point. Number 4 Alabama against number 1 Oklahoma. And the next rotation is the one we're really looking forward to see. Oklahoma, the best team in the country on balance beam, and that's where they're headed. And the Crimson Tide will be on the floor where they are spectacular in every way.
These teams are number 1 and 2 in the country on the events that they're competing right now. And you're going to see why in a second. You'll see head coach KJ Kindler giving Addison some encouragement. When we talked to Kiara Wells and Mackenzie Estep earlier this week, she said the beam speech was breathe in and breathe out, shakes their arms, and then she adds something secretive that we can't know and special.
Must be the magic sauce, because among all the things that the Oklahoma brand and Oklahoma team is known for, They have been dominant on balance beam over the last decade, which has led to many of their successes at the national level. Addison Feda is a solid, consistent leadoff competitor, and that's part of the strategy of KJ Kindler. You need somebody who's confident and almost a guaranteed hit in that leadoff spot.
Beautiful job on that acro series as well, a requirement from every athlete competing on beam today. Like you said, Bart, she is just so consistent in this leadoff spot, one of the best in the country on beam. Helps build confidence on beam for the rest of the lineup as well.
Former two-time U.S. national team member, competed at the Olympic trials in 2021. By her parents, Tony and Jen, at Prestige Gymnastics and her club training. Now it's just a sophomore here at OU.
OU excels at their beam dance as well. We talk about dance on floor, but beam has dance too.
Put it in the bank.
Rinse and repeat for Addison Feda on that stuck dismount off of beam. She's done that pretty much every meet. And they are just so locked in.
Interesting what Jordan Bowers mentioned to us about that aggressiveness and that mindset for beam, right?
Yeah, you see that actually in Addison's routine really well. She attacks the beam, and that's what aided Jordan Bowers when she was on the team and the rest of their lineup as well.
Chloe Lacourcier will be the leadoff competitor for the Crimson Tide on floor. Broadway fans will recognize this music, Yorktown, from the musical Hamilton.
All of the choreography and music cuts are done by my former teammate, Amelia Hunley, their assistant coach, and she did just a great job. I asked her about the choreography aspect of Alabama's lineup, and she said she really wanted routines that would fit each athlete, let them come in with their own ideas and then molded it around them. Second pass for Chloe. She's had struggles on this. Good control on that jump. She's been uncontrolled a little bit this season on that. Dialed it in today well. I love the drama of Chloe's routine. She's a great leadoff on this event for them.
You know, earlier this week we were talking to KJ Kindler about how she builds the beam rotation. There's quite a strategy that goes into it, Kennedy.
Yeah, she starts with that experience and stability in the first two. She adds in that youth and building block, has a stabilizer in 4, flexible and adjustable 5, and the finisher at number 6. You see them develop these lineups, but especially beam, she's found the formula and the key that works for Oklahoma.
I find it really interesting that the youth and building block is in the 3rd spot, but you need a stabilizer, because if there is some inconsistency in that 3rd competitor, you need somebody right after that who can get them back on track. And of course, the finisher is the national champion on the beam, Faith Torres. So this has been the strategy, and I think she's the first coach that actually illustrated for us exactly the mindset on who goes and in what order. Kira Wells now up second. Addison Feda led them off with a 9.875.
And stabilizer is a great description of Kira Wells' beam. She is confident in this routine. Got to talk about this first skill. It's so hard to do. Switches legs in the middle of it. I asked if she had that skill because it's such a challenging skill when she came to college, and she said, no, I played with it over the summertime. And then KJ said, go ahead and hands and make it an aerial instead of a cartwheel. And that's where she's ended up.
Unusual to see a switch feet right before the landing on that aerial cartwheel.
It's tricky to switch her feet in the air. Also has this acro series in the end of her routine. Most athletes do it in the beginning to get it out of the way. Shows the confidence that she carries throughout this routine. Said she feels more confident competing this year than ever. And we see that in her gymnastics. Has 2 preseasons under her belt now. Approached it with a different mindset that this year splits well over 180 degrees. Just a slight balance check. Didn't panic though. Sometimes you feel off and you get panicked. She does a great job of grounding herself into the beam.
You notice those taped up ankles. She had an ankle sprain last week before the meet against Kentucky. Didn't seem to bother her there. 2 hits in a row for the Sooners on beam. Back to floor now for Alabama. Jasmine Hall. They called her Jazzy. She's born in Maine, but moved to Florida in 2019 to train with Brandy Johnson, the world medalist from the U.S. team back in the 80s.
This first tumbling pass is massive. Ashley Johnston said she just loves to compete. Thrives off of these pressure environments. And loves being counted on. I thought that was interesting. She likes that her teammates rely on her. Sometimes you're nervous to be in the lineup. She said, no, I want them to know and count on me. You'll see a lot of different styles of dance throughout this lineup. She has a powerful routine after Chloe Lecorsier's ballet-like routine.
Interesting contrast. She told us one of the craziest things she ever did in her life was, instead of just texting or calling the coach and accepting her scholarship, she drove 8.5 hours all the way down to Alabama to say, hey, I want to be on your team. That's pretty cool.
She's just built for this. You can tell that she thrives off of this electric energy of collegiate competition. I drive down too.
All right, here, Kira Wells is a 9.9, and you might note on the right side of your screen, the score for Addison Theta has been raised from a 9.875 to now a 9.9. So the Sooners, the first 2 athletes, already have 9.9s, and they build from there. We do not have any explanation for the reason for the change of score.
Talking about beautiful dance, Ella Murphy has such intricacies in her beam choreography. I love it. And just a rock on that acro series. This is the youth and confidence that KJ's added into this middle spot, and you can see it.
Interesting, because this is right. This is the place where if there's going to be any inconsistency, they can give a less experienced athlete an opportunity, knowing that they can still back her up with consistent competitors. So far, she's doing superbly. Keep in mind, she's coming after already 2 9.9s.
Nice job on that ring jump. Judges need to see that head all the way back. Wraps up with this gainer full dismount.
He tried so hard to hang on to that landing.
Great extension there. If I'm being picky, she could have picked her front leg up a little bit higher. That is a hard jump to do, though. You don't see a lot of athletes lose eye contact with the beam.
3 hits in a row for the Sooners there. Rachel Rybicki now, the senior, made her season debut last week following a back injury.
Dynamic first pass for Rachel. Did a good job staying on her front leg. When the athletes step back into that lunge, it's not a deduction if their foot stays planted in the front. Rachel's been a staple in this floor lineup most of her career. They've got a lot of youth on their team, so it's nice to see that senior leadership in these lineups as well.
Another hit, 3 in a row for the Crimson Tide on floor. There's a men's basketball quadruple header tomorrow on SEC Network, including this featured matchup at 3:30 Eastern. Tyler Tanner and number 15 Vanderbilt are hosting Oklahoma. Then Sunday's quadruple header of Play for K women's basketball games is highlighted by Flaw J. Johnson and number 5 LSU heading to Auburn at 2 Eastern. It's all right here on the SEC Network and the app. Lindsay Estep in this spot, the 4th spot after Ella Murphy had a 9.825.
I'm not surprised that Mackenzie Estep made it into this lineup tonight. When we talked to KJ on our coach calls earlier this week, she had partnered Mackenzie Estep and Faith Torres together for their assignment, wanted to put some pressure on her, and Mackenzie said, yeah, I felt the pressure with Faith. I knew I had to deliver. You'll see that attack out of that acro series was crooked, but because she was so aggressive to her lunge, was able to hold on to it.
She has excelled in vault, bars, and floor this year, but this is her first time in the beam lineup and the first time in the all-around for her collegiate career. Showing a little bit of nerves, but she seems to be finessing it.
And as she gains experience in this beam lineup, those nerves will go away. First time out is difficult. You have adrenaline. You've got to find that balance, especially on an event like beam.
Mark it down as a success. Four hits in a row for Oklahoma. Remember, you count the best 5 out of 6 scores.
Her aggression out of that acro series is why she was able to stay on the beam. If she wouldn't have been as intense with the finish, it might have been a bigger problem. And just money on this dismount, easily sticks it. Pretty good debut for your first time in the beam lineup.
Oh yeah, for the Sooners. That's not an easy beam lineup to make. There are so many athletes and so deep on that particular event for Oklahoma to step into that spot. Very important, especially on a big meet like tonight with number 1 versus number 4. Okay, this could just flat out be a highlight. Azarea Ra Akbar coming after Rachel Rybicki at a 9-9, their high score over there on floor.
She is stunning on this event, from the choreography to the tumbling. Beautifully done, 2.5. That's a hard skill to stick. You've got to have good air awareness. Azarea has high scoring potential on all events, but especially floor. She can show her power off, but also shows her extension, like on those leaps right there, well above 180 degrees. Az's technique is just exquisite. Even on skills like that wolf turn, her legs are all the way straight and extended. Clean routine for Azarea Akbar. Maybe the best she has done this season.
Very controlled on all of her tumbling and landings especially. She was coached by her dad, WGYM himself. He was a gymnast. He's a Canadian elite gymnast.
So clean. On twisting skills especially, it's hard to keep your legs side by side.
I mentioned elite, you know, and this is all elite sports and all elite competition, but there is a little bit of a difference in terms of the rules in elite competition, meaning Olympic and World Championship level. What we're watching here is NCAA gymnastics, which has slightly different rules. But needless to say, NCAA gymnastics is enormously popular. Some athletes are choosing to do both college and elite, meaning that they could compete for the Olympic team. Someone like Jordan Childs at UCLA, who does both. Here's Lily Peterson. Mackenzie Estep had a 9.775 in that fourth spot.
Nails that side summy. I think that's such a hard skill to compete because you lose eye contact with the beam and you're looking into the crowd. You have to have a lot of confidence, even on that switch side as well. She's not looking at the beam, so really has to be over the top. Had an excellent stick on this last week.
And again, interestingly, she was in that fifth spot. She ends up being the stabilizer today because Mackenzie Estep had a 9.775. That score is grayed out, meaning that's the low score that they would probably drop, assuming that Peterson and Torres hit. Now, just a moment ago, Jamison Sears on the floor. A highlight for you, Kennedy.
Her takeoff contributes to her excellency. See her hip rise right there? She is so high in the air because her takeoff is so clean off of the floor, sets well with her shoulders. Watch her leaps. Again, the high, the hip rise.
Wow.
Assistant coach Amelia Hunley's in the back. Her foot's above her head. Co-associate head coach Justin Spring well above his head as well in the back.
Wow. Oh, this could be fun. Jamison Sears after Azarea Akbar had a 9.95, a career high for her. This woman is basically bionic. And her nickname is J Money.
Jamison is the hype woman of this team. Flies high on this first pass.
Wow.
Leaves me speechless every time. A lot of other athletes just aren't getting the high like Jamison does. She's in a league of her own with that. Even on these leaps right here, no one is jumping that high part. This routine is so fun, but it takes a lot of energy too.
It sure does, but she never stops moving. The moment she comes in the gym, she's bouncing around non-stop. She's not scored below a 9.9 yet this season on floor. Wow.
queen of floor.
As she should be in a big front step out to tuck double at the end of the routine, and of course a big double layout at the beginning, Kennedy.
This is so high in the air. Spots her feet well into the floor. And again, you're not required to get as high as you can. I like the effort that Jamison goes to do it. And then it just eats up this choreo. See her teammates in the back doing it with her.
I didn't see many Sooner fans spell out Bama when she did that choreography, but she'll score well for sure. Now here's the anchor competitor for the Sooners, Faith Torres. She's the Rock. She's a national champion in 2024 on this event. And Lily Peterson before her, their high score, 9.925. Remember, they were trying to replace the 9.775 for E-Step.
Hard acro series. She nails it. Again, she's done that countless times. It's why she's won a national championship on beam. Faith approaches beam differently than the rest of the lineup. She has more of a calm demeanor as she goes throughout this routine, completely unfazed by really anything. It's why KJ puts her in this anchor spot. And I think that acro series she does is the hardest that you can really do in collegiate gymnastics.
Yes. Expect a big score. That was clean. Faith Torres, the senior out of Bristol, Wisconsin.
And this acro series is difficult because you twist into it. A lot of athletes you see either stay straight forwards or go straight backwards. You don't see them do a half turn like she does in the side aerial before the layout.
The Rock, as always, on beam in that anchor spot. Torres gets hugs from her teammates as we go back now to the last competitor for Alabama on the floor. Gabby Gladio, Jamison Sears had a 9.925. So the last three scores for Alabama so far here on floor were 9.9 or better. Two teams separated by 0.4 of a point here in the third of 4 rotations.
Gabby has a tremendous first pass. Doesn't even grab her legs. She's so high, doesn't need to. They'll take a deduction for that slide back. I mentioned earlier the judges want to see that foot still when they land. Gabby Gladio and Jamison Sears can be considered the hype women of the team. They rile each other up and then get the rest of their girls going. Nice job working out of that. Well done for the senior. She's hyped about that. I love her hype.
She is fierce. She said she's the self-proclaimed biggest fan of Jamison Sears, by the way.
And I'm sure Jamison's her biggest fan as well. You see her in the back hyping her up. I told you those two are the duo.
All right, that wraps up the third of 4 rotations. Oklahoma Sooner on the beam. They led off with a pair of 9.9s, and they finished with a pair of 9.925 and 9.975. So the low-scoring routine of a 9.825 for Ella Murphy will count towards the team total, but otherwise 4 scores, 9.9 or better, which is what we're used to seeing from the #1 team in the country on beam. KJ Kindler is responsible for this impeccable work on the beam. KJ, your impressions of that rotation there on the third on a beam?
It was good. You know, we are testing out our depth. As you saw, Mackenzie Estep went in there, and I really wanted to give her a chance. She's been money in the gym, so we've been really excited about her progress. So today seemed like a good day to roll the dice. So we did, and she did a good routine. Like, for your first time out as a freshman, it can be an intimidating thing in a close meet like this, but really pleased with how she did. And then the rest of the team, you know, smooth as silk, like normal.
KJ, we know you've been working on your bounding skills on floor. What do you want to see for your floor team up next?
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, no, I cannot bound. I can't do it. Yes, we're working on discipline on floor, like being disciplined in our passes and getting our amplitude where it needs to be. As you know, the dance is mesmerizing to me, so it's just those little things, those little details I know Tom's been working on so hard. So we're excited to show it off tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, KJ
Thank
Kidner.
you.
Good luck in the fourth and final rotation on the floor.
Thank you.
Both teams had a 49.525 in rotation 3, meaning both teams averaged over 9.9 per athlete. We expected to have a great one, and we do. Coming down to the fourth and final rotation, these two teams, we separated by less than 0.4 of a point. The Friday Night Heights is presented by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the Southeastern Conference. Set for the fourth and final rotation here in the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. The biggest matchup of this weekend coming down to the final rotation. Alabama, the fourth-ranked team in the country, taking on the #1 team. We've had several highlights tonight, but Oklahoma has maintained the lead from the beginning. Let's see if they can hang on to it. They moved to floor, which interestingly enough is not their highest rated event. They are extremely high rated, first on both vault and beam. They're ranked 6th on bars and floor. So Oklahoma will need to be solid here because Alabama goes to the beam. We talked to their coach, Ashley Johnston, earlier, and she was talking about one of the things she's focused on is strong arms. You can help someone understand what exactly she means by that.
Yeah, Ashley gave a great example. She said that your arms are the driver, and they're driving the vehicle. That's all you have control over. So the sharper that your arms are there, the more you're in control.
Their focus tonight is strong arms. Lacourcier, first down.
Chloe was seen more in the starter role last season. They played around with this lineup, put her back in the beginning.
All of her scores tonight between 9.825 and 9.925, so she's doing a really great job.
Slight balance check out of that. We talked about it with Ella Murphy, but as well with Chloe, she loses contact with the beam when she does that stag jump. Smooth on her acro series, though. She's had issues with that a little bit this season. No errors today. Just the dismount left and spacing away from the beam with that 1.5 twist. Has to feel where she's at in the air. Small hop forward, got the ball rolling for Alabama, but if they want to sneak out this win, they have to get these sticks. On these forward-facing landings, they can't spot their feet the same way they do when they're coming in backwards.
Lily Peterson is having a terrific night. 2 season-high scores for her so far. 9.925s on beam and on bars. And here she is in a lead-off spot on floor. Oklahoma is counting 12 of 15 scores. 9.9 plus. gets to your mindset when that happens, Ken.
You have to do a mental reset. We saw that music mishap in the beginning. Saw KJ talk to her for a second. Got her back aligned.
Has something like that happened to you before?
No, and I'm happy that it didn't. You know, you have a mental routine that you do before your actual routine. And any modifications to that can throw you off. Lily does a great job of not letting anything phase her competition. She's also adjusted this routine as well from last year and wants higher scoring potential on this event. Nice job on that double twist. Small shuffle forwards. That's one of the passes that she edited from last year. Similar to Alabama, Oklahoma's done a great job of differentiating dams in their lineups. You're going to see a lot of different vibes throughout this floor exercise. Lily starting off strong for OU on floor. She wanted to get the stick on this.
No question that Lily Peterson had a spectacular night. The 3 events that she did perform very cleanly. As we go to Jazz Cawley now, the freshman. Said she loves the pressure. Well, here you go. It's balance beam in the final rotation. And you're in a close meet with the #1 team in the nation. We'll see how she handles it. La Coursier led them off with a 9-8.
Chloe did a great job setting her up. Has actually been more of a starter on this event for them. Bumped her back a spot. Excellent series. You can really see those strong arms that Ashley wants out of her beam lineup. I love how she's attacking the beam and being aggressive. Hard to do as a freshman. Just the dismount left. Nice job. Actually looked a little crooked out of that. Great job knowing exactly where she was at, coming into the floor and sticking.
Friday Night Heights continues next week with 2 more great matchups. First at 7 Eastern, number 7, Missouri hosts Kentucky. Then at 8:45, number 12, Auburn will head to number 3, LSU for a showdown at the PMAC. It's all right here on the SEC Network and the app. Ella Murphy now for the Sooners on floor. 9.825 on beam in the previous rotation. 9.925 on bars earlier today.
Clean first pass. That is a stick. And like head coach KJ Kindler said, she is mesmerizing to watch on this event. Has the center's cut in the middle of it. KJ said that she thought center should have won Best Picture, and that's called taste. that pass as well.
Kindler is well known for picking very original, interesting music for her athletes. Not cookie cutter type routines at all, are they?
They put a lot of emphasis on their dance work.
Boy, she nailed that double back at the beginning of the routine.
This was just excellent. Such a good stick. Didn't even need to step back to that lunge.
We talked to Coach Kindler earlier this week, and we talked about sometimes people knock Oklahoma Gymnastics for not doing enough difficulty in their tumbling. And she says, well, then blame me, because she said, I don't want them doing 16 to 18 meets with all those backward landings where you could risk tearing an Achilles or even severe injuries. So she has taken the responsibility for it. We're going to get our points. We're going to have a 10-0 start value, but we're not going to put the wear and tear on the ankles of these athletes. So that's a strategy that is not by accident for KJ Kindler.
It's a smart strategy, to be honest.
It's a long season, and this is a lot of wear and tear on the bodies, because it's not just 16 to 18 meets, but it's every day in the gym.
She also argues, look at our difficulty on bars. Check out beam. We're doing hard series. You know, a lot of other teams might not be doing the same challenges that they do on other events. And Gabby working strongly through this routine.
Jazz Pauley before her had a career-high 9.9, so Gabby Ladani focused on those strong arms.
You could see she tried to hit the lunge sharply. Nice job on that leap as well. Has had to repeat it before.
Good job.
Strong sticks for the Bama beam lineup. They need those dismount sticks, all the tenths that they can get.
Father Robert Ladani, one of the coaches at Utah State, who had stints at other schools, including your alma mater, Florida, over the years. Gabby, a junior. Camila Pavlov now for Oklahoma on the floor. Earlier tonight, we saw her sister Natalia on bars for Alabama. Her sister claims to be Camila's biggest fan. She's so proud that as Natalia is graduating out of college gymnastics, her younger sister is coming in, even though they're competing for two separate teams.
We talked about that preservation that KJ takes with her team. Camila is capable of doing a full twisting, a full in on that first pass. Might debut it this weekend on the podium. Would be a great meet to feel. Duos that are a little bit different. Camila's gymnastics is completely different from Natalia's, but they're both in these lineups, being utilized for different reasons. Such a strong tumbler.
That the NCAA gymnastics experience is living the dream with my best friends.
Had so much flight on this. The hip rise was excellent. Clean stick to the lunge. And dynamic out of this as well.
As congratulations all around for the freshman just getting underway as a member of this #1 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners. Tom Haley giving her a couple of notes there as well. Back to Alabama on the beam. Kylie Kwame, a sophomore from Washington. Gabby Ladani had a 9.8. So far over there, Alabama has 2 9.8s and 1 9.9.
Kylie has really contributed to this positive culture that Alabama has cultivated this season. Nice triple series there. Kylie is a confident athlete, and you see that confidence throughout her beam work. So much height on that as well. Almost landed with straight legs. It's hard to get that hip rise on an individual skill like that. Has a different dismount forward, gainer full.
Oh, nice.
Finds it so easily. Soaks in that stick, shows it off.
Alabama doing a nice job on the beam, but they're trailing Oklahoma. And Oklahoma showing no signs of letting up on floor.
I like how smooth that connection was. Sometimes you see athletes hesitate after that first skill, the front aerial.
Kwame, Philippines national team member, a sophomore out of Washington. Here's Elle Miller now. This is a fascinating routine. Talk about original choreography.
Elle brings an intensity to her dance that we really don't see from a lot of athletes on floor. I love it. She is so serious and locked in. Easy first pass. Had a slight stumble out of this last week. Not today. Exactly where she needed to be on that last pass. You know, KJ talked about a lot of them end with lead passes as well, like Elle, which can be more difficult to do sometimes than the tumbling.
You know, that's a type of piece of music that not everybody could perform to, isn't it?
No, you've got to have this level of performance quality in your dance to be able to pull that off, and Elle is impressive with her choreography. The bond that Oklahoma has developed this season amongst their team is really special, kind of aids to why they're doing so well this season. KJ said they hung out even before they came to college, the freshmen.
Kylie Kwame, a 9.925, a career high for her. So for Alabama on beam, 2 9.8s and a 9.9 and a 9.2.925. Here's Gabby Gladio.
He's the only person that performs that series. An uncharacteristic mistake for Gabby. That's going to be 5/10 for that fall. That is a hard series to do. You have to have a lot of hip rise out of the back handspring.
Gladio, one of the 2 athletes for Alabama doing the all-around tonight, meaning all 4 apparatus, along with Corsier.
Gabby has been consistently in the back half of this lineup. Nice stick on the dismount. You never know what's going to happen throughout the rest of the lineup. It's important that she finished strong. And you'll see the back foot is just so turned out. You want that foot completely in line with the beam. The toes are off.
Of course, the fall is a 0.5 of a point reduction. That's the first miss for the Crimson Tide in tonight's competition. Not what they had hoped here in the final rotation, if they hope to close the gap on the Sooners, who are continuing to be impressive on floor. Elle Miller had their second straight 9.925, and 2 big floor routines yet to come to finish this off for the #1 team in the country. Here's Addison Feda.
This is one of my favorite routines that KJ did this season. I think she just eats this choreo. And this first pass is new for her this season. Actually had some struggles last week against Kentucky with that skill right there. Well done today.
That's plenty of difficulty on the floor. Front full to a 2.5. But once again, KJ Kindler prefers those forward landings because they're less stress on the ankles and the Achilles in particular.
And they do difficult gymnastics. This is a front double twist. That is worth an E in gymnastics. We rank our skills by the alphabet. And E is the hardest that you can do. F if you're Simone Biles.
Note, 9.75 or better for Addison Feda, which she'll easily get. Gets Oklahoma to that magic 198, and 198 is a championship level score. The kind of team that could repeat again as an NCAA champion.
And she had that mistake last week out of that first skill. No issues today. Legs were super tight coming down. Nice clean form on that double twist.
The Sooners comfortably in the lead now, and they have one final competitor who'll finish off their floor rotation. That's Mackenzie Estep. Still don't have the score yet for Gabby Gladio. Sometimes calculating a score for a missed routine is actually more difficult than a hit routine, especially if there's missed connections and combinations.
Yeah, the judges have to be close enough in that score that you can average it. If they're too far away, they've got to have a judges conference about it.
I think Ashley Johnston very excited about what direction her team is headed on. She's just in her 4th year as the head coach there. Of course, she has Justin Spring on her side and Amelia Hundley, one of your former teammates at Florida there. So I think there's a lot of excitement about, looks like Alabama's not going to be able to challenge the Sooners tonight, obviously, but this is a team on the rise, isn't it?
It is, and they have a strong leader and head coach Ashley Johnston. You know, she's been on national championship winning teams for Alabama herself. Has actually edged out the win for Alabama on beam.
Of all things in the final rotation, I will never forget those clutch routines for her and Geraldine Stack Eaton in the 2011-2012.
Ryan Fuller with a big job ahead of her. Last week, upgraded her routine. I'm curious to see if she does the same upgrade today. She debuted her triple series last week. I wonder if they'll change it because of Gabby Gladio's mistake to just a back handspring layout.
I think at this point, Alabama has nothing to lose because the Sooners are not going to be touchable. Maybe this is exactly the time to go for it. Let's see if she does. Nope.
Smart call. They wanted a guaranteed hit. She knows she's going to nail that series.
Good point. The score they're trying to replace, of course, is at 9-2-2-5. Are you seeing the strong arms that Ashley was focused on?
I am seeing those strong arms from Ryan Fuller and throughout the rest of their beam lineup. They did a good job of being sharp today. Ryan Fuller's a little bit under the radar as well. She's been a rock for this Alabama program, especially on beam.
Oh, yeah.
A vital routine for them. They needed her hit, and she delivers.
That's the mark of a champion right there, stepping up after a mistake when there could be nerves, and she did deliver.
I thought that was the right call to downgrade that series back to the back handspring layout. Even if they don't get the win, this contributes to their overall score, which matters in their rankings in those regional seedings later on this year.
That's a very good point. I did not mention that earlier, but you're right. Postseason opportunities are a combination of home and away scores that are averaged, and there's an emphasis this year on away scores. So even though Alabama will go down as a loss, hopefully they can get a respectable away score, which will help their postseason standings. Oklahoma's going to get the win. Addison Feda at a 9.95, and this is Mackenzie Estep finishing it up for OU. Oh!
Actually had a similar mistake last week, under-rotated that front double full. It's hard on an event like floor. We mentioned it on ball, finding that power balance in the run. You've got to do a similar thing on floor. Mackenzie's E-step, first time in the all-around. You know, it takes endurance to compete all 4 events. It's a little bit different. You've got to be prepared for it. I doubt this is the last time we're going to see her in this all-around, though.
Remember that name, folks, Mackenzie Estep, just a freshman for the Sooners. A couple of minor stumbles tonight, but expect her to be a national contender throughout her collegiate career. She has the full package of the power, the technique, and the artistry. What happened there? Just a little shorter rotation on the double twister.
Just came in short. You saw those feet were in front of her. You want your feet directly underneath you if you want to stick the pass. If they're too far in front, you got to take those steps back like we saw.
There's Addison Feda. She had a terrific night. Finished up on floor with a 9.95. So a 39.725 for Feda in the all-around. Incredible effort. As you heard from KJ Kindler, over 8,000 in the house tonight at the Lloyd Noble Center to see the Sooners continue their streak here. They are 154-4 in this building since KJ Kindler took over the program. And another win tonight makes it 155-4. They knocked off the number 4 team in the country easily. And Addison Feda had one of the best nights of her collegiate career. So when we come back, we'll wrap this one up here from Norman, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma gets the win with a 198-2. That's a championship level score.